It doesn't come off natural. It looks cringy. Y'all have seen it, and I ain't about to be messy because I could name some names, but I won't do that because I'm not that kind of gal. I'm not a messy gal, okay?
I like my coffee black, wife too. Don't turn this into no controversy. It's my boo. I can make $250,000 off a haiku, and I can make another quarter off at times.
And what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I got a Q&A for y'all. I realized that first of all, I had a question box up before my pro debut and I never answered those questions, so I'm going to answer those questions, and then you guys left me some questions on my community tab as well. I can't believe I've been on YouTube for, let me see, fall will be 9 years, and I've never done an official sit down Q&A video. Like, I've answered questions before in a video, but never like this. So we're gonna go ahead and roll into it because I got a lot of questions. So the first one: favorite daily sunscreen for a face that actually dries clear? Skin Proud. I have been using this SPF for over a month now, so I am someone who has struggled with SPF. I don't have sensitive skin, but for some reason, a lot of SPFs break me out, and it's not even a situation of, is it a chemical, a mineral? Like, no, like they both have broken me out before. So Skin Proud, you can get it at Walmart. It is 14 bucks. Or my other favorite one, Estee Lauder. That's a really good one. It's a little bit more expensive, but those two are my go-tos for SPF that dry clear, and they don't break me out. What should be a part of your face cleansing routine after show day when you don't wear makeup daily? Okay, so this is going to be just like makeup routine in general. So first things first, remove the makeup. You can use a makeup remover wipe, or you can use micellar water. I hate the way that micellar water is marketed because it makes it as if it's this one and done situation, like removing your makeup and cleansing your face. Absolutely not. No, if you're using micellar water, it is strictly to remove the makeup. After you've removed the makeup, then you're gonna go ahead and cleanse your face with the cleanser that works for your skin type. After you've cleansed, if you wanna utilize a toner, you can do so. There are so many ones on the market. I can't necessarily tell you which one you need. Again, it's all gonna depend on what your skin needs. And then of course, if you wanna add in a serum, you can do a serum. Optional, of course, what your needs are: eye cream, moisturizer. So remove the makeup, cleanse your face, eye cream, moisturizer. That's the basics. That's what you should be doing anyway, in general, regardless if you're wearing makeup or not. And now my battery getting ready to die, and I've only been recording for 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Raggedy, ghetto, and rude. Hold please. Okay, switching seats because lighting was weird over there. I don't have any artificial lights. It is all natural, like your girl. Okay, so next up, skin prep for the brown girls. No lotion for days before tan sounds like a disaster for me. So this is one of those situations where I do my own thing and I break the rules. I've never had any issues. Skin prep, it's the same. So yeah, you want to start exfoliating. I've talked about my skin prep before. I don't really start exfoliating until Wednesday, but that's just because I exfoliate my body once a week year round anyway. So it ain't a big deal for me. I don't put lotion on until right before I get ready to tan. So let's say if I'm competing on Saturday, I put lotion on start of peak week. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday night, after I go ahead, take my last shower Thursday night, I will exfoliate my body. Hang on, I misspoke. So I will put lotion on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. I exfoliate, and then right when I get out the shower, that's when I'll put my tan on, so I'm not putting any lotion on before that. But everything else, Monday through Thursday, I'm still putting lotion on. I just don't put lotion on Friday night after I've showered because it's tan time. I don't put lotion on. However, I also do my own tan. So that's the caveat to that. So I only literally don't put lotion on right before I get ready to put my tan on. That's what works for me. Again, I do DIY. I know it's gonna be different for different skin types, different skin tones, undertones, but that's just what I do. How did you know this was the show you wanted to do your pro debut? I didn't. It just so happened to work out that way. My coach Jordan lives in Atlanta. I live in North Carolina. Atlanta is only 4 hours away from me. Easy drive. It worked out that way, so that's why we ended up doing pro debut in Atlanta. Not a question, but I saw you at Universe, and when you walked on stage, I just thought, I hope she wins. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. That moment, oh, I will never forget that moment. That is hands down one of the most epic moments in my life. Just incredible, amazing. Like whenever I'm down or if I'm having a bad day, I just think about that moment and it brings so much joy to me. I don't have any questions. I'm just so damn geeked for you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now that you're in a pro show, are you going to pump up more before stepping on stage? No, ma'am. So now understanding my body, like that's the thing. It's true what they say. And I know this because isn't it funny how logically we know things, but when we're in it, it's kind of like that friend that's in a crazy relationship. And because you're not in it, you can see the craziness, but when you're in it, you can't. We've all been in one. So be nice, grace, okay? That's what this situation was. Every prep is different. I know that, but I didn't take into account how different my physique is now this season versus last season. So basically for my upper body, I don't need to do nothing else to it. If anything, I will focus on growing my rear delts a little bit, which that's tricky because that's just such a tiny muscle and it takes so much to engage it anyway. But I am somebody who has basically the upper is good, we've built, so I don't need to build upon it anymore. I'm also someone that catches a pump really quick. If I just look at dumbbells and Sour Patch Kids, like I'm going to be bursting through my skin. That's just how my body is. So knowing all that information now, I always, and like I feel even like at my pro debut, although I wasn't as sharp, my glutes, it was pumped. I pumped them up. So I know now for next season, just take it easy, kid. You don't gotta pump up like you used to, because I used to pump for my life because when I first started competing, I was the smallest. And so now that ain't the case no more. So yeah, I'll take the same protocol. I'll pump up a little bit like right before I go on stage, but that's that, like a couple of reps on the biceps, a couple of laterals, a little bit on the glutes, and we just go on stage. How are you feeling? I'm so excited for you. I'm feeling amazing. I'm just so honored to watch you on this journey. Get it, girl. Thank you so much. Does your routine have spins? No spins for me. I'm not against it. That's just not my posing flow. I talk about it all the time. It's just like, know the basics. Know your front pose, know your back pose. Nail that. Get a smooth transition. After that, you want to put a little razzle dazzle on it. It's cool. It's great to look at others for inspo, but at the end of the day, it's got to fit you, because the last thing you want is to be on stage trying to pose like someone else. It doesn't come off natural. It looks cringy. Y'all have seen it, and I ain't about to be messy because I could name some names, but I won't do that because I'm not that kind of gal. I'm not a messy gal, okay? However, it can come off cringy. You know what I mean? You've seen it. Romans 8:37. I gotta go back. Well, what is Romans 8:37? Let's take a peek. Let's see what you telling me, girl. 8:37. It says, no, in all these things we are more than conquerors. Come on, through him who is loved us. 100%. We sure are more than conquerors, and we can do all things, okay, baby? All things. Through Christ, of course. Will you be switching up your suit color like Alexis did for her pro debut? Again, remember guys, these questions were the questions that were asked before my pro debut, and I'm negligent and just now getting around to answering them 3 weeks post-show. Sorry. I didn't know I was getting a suit. I had no idea I was getting a new suit. I was just going to rock my blood orange suit that I had been wearing all last season and the top of this season, the one I won my pro card in. And so when that suit came in, I was flabbergasted. And then the fact that Krista asked me to be one of her sponsored athletes, like, you guys, like, that is such a big deal for me, because I'm a small fish in a pond, but like my best friend said, hey baby, small fish swim too, and baby, we swimming. But I don't have any sponsorships. Like I don't have any of that stuff. So therefore, this is my first ever sponsorship, and it's very incredible because I've been creating content here on YouTube for 9 years and I've never gotten a sponsorship opportunity. So the fact that I got a sponsorship opportunity, had no idea it was coming, wasn't checking for it. The fact that someone saw me and believed in me and wanted to invest in me, I'm just beyond grateful, beyond honored, just wow, wow, wow. So yeah, I did switch my suit, didn't know. I'm trying to start thinking about next season's suit. I'm gonna wear that suit again. So I already know what shows, the first 2 shows of next season that I'm gonna be doing. And I'm definitely going to be wearing that suit for the first show. I know 100% I'm wearing that suit. And then for the next show, I'll probably try something else halfway through the season next year, because next season, your girl gonna be on stage. We competing next season. We going for it. Okay, now I need to go. Was that all? Yeah, that was all of my Instagram questions. YouTube questions, there's a lot. And I love y'all. I love my fam. Y'all are the absolute best. All right, 25 questions, let's roll. No offense to anyone, but why do all the shoes look like stripper shoes? Second question is, does your bikini ever get uncomfortable to wear? They look like stripper shoes because they are. That is 100% what they are. No offense is taken whatsoever, baby. That's what it is. So the clear shoes are just simply because, one, the heel, you need the heel because it just, you know, pushes the glutes up. It makes everything look nice, elongated. And clear because you don't want any distractions. Your feet should not be the main attraction. It should be the physique. What is a fun fact nobody knows about you? I love to dance. So if I wasn't in the beauty industry, if I wasn't in bodybuilding, I would have 100% been a dancer. Oh my gosh, like put me on stage with Beyonce, let me do it. That is something that I wish was nurtured more in me. However, all things work together for the good, it's okay. So growing up, my mom was a DJ, so every weekend was a party. Every day we're always bumping music. Every day we having a good time. Every day we're dancing. So that's where I get my love and passion for music from. And I absolutely love going out, dancing, having a good time. I love to dance to all music. My favorite music to dance to has got to be reggae and anything Latin. I love Latin music, which is so interesting because I remember when I grew up listening to reggae because my mom loves reggae, right? And then in middle school, I came across reggaeton. All right, so all of my SD cards are full currently because your girl been shooting a lot of content. So therefore, we're on my iPhone. I don't care. We just trying to get this done. And also, let this be your sign. If you are someone who has been wanting to start a YouTube channel and you feel like you can't because you don't have a camera, maybe use your phone. Phone has 4K capabilities, okay? Don't let that stop your hustle. That's just an excuse. You got a phone, you can create content. All right, so like I was saying, reggaeton, when I found that in middle school, game over, rap. No one in my circle, not even my mom, was listening to it, so I was always kind of on my own with that, but reggaeton, absolutely. Lynn, listen, put on some Bad Bunny or some Osuna. Oh yeah, that's a vibe, that's a vibe. Favorite movies, okay. Oh wait, hold on. Do you think politics play a role in bikini, even just the slightest bit? Of course it does. Listen, the thing is, they're never gonna say, right? And when I say politics, I'm not talking like, oh yeah, this is rigged or someone got paid off. That's not what I mean. There is a pecking order, okay? If you are competing in a show, and if you were a top 10 bikini Olympian, this is just Amberp philosophy. Ain't nobody said this to me. This is just from me studying. If you were a top 10 Olympian, even if you don't have the best physique that day, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be your first call out just because you were a top 10 Olympian. To me, that's a little political. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe if you don't agree, let me know in the comments, but it's a pecking order. So maybe we won't say politics. Maybe I'll just say there's definitely a pecking order, which I just have the mindset of chop the head off, look at the body. What's the body doing? Because great, congratulations, your body was on point the day of the Olympia. However, we all know things change fast in bikini. We've seen it. You could be first call out one weekend, the next weekend you can be third call out. So what do we have right here, and not who is this person? And because they were a top 10 Olympian, they get first call outs. But of course, you know, whatevs. Favorite movies. So I'm not a big movie buff, but my favorite movies definitely Bad Boys 2. I like action and comedy. Those are my gigs. Bad Boys 2, Fast and Furious, the one when they're in Brazil, which is ironic, and then probably Money Talks. Chris Tucker, so funny, so funny. Have you ever gotten pushback or negative comments from folks about your shape, saying that it might be a less feminine look, or you're getting too bulky or masculine looking since you started bodybuilding? All the above. But here's the thing, I am no longer in the business of explaining myself to people. The only person that needs to know what is happening and going on with me is my husband. So the only people that truly need to understand, they're not even gonna understand. The only people that need to be in the loop are the people that live with you in your home. I'm not about to go out here and explain this to somebody who, first of all, they're not asking questions. Like, you can tell the difference and you can discern between people who are genuinely curious versus the people that just want to be messy. You know what I mean? Throw some negativity on you. So let me save you. 98% of the people ain't gonna understand, and that is okay, because bodybuilding is very, very niche. There ain't a lot of us, okay? So understand that you trying to get somebody to understand your why or understand exactly what it is that you're doing, it's probably not going to be likely. And like I say all the time, we all ugly to somebody. 1, 2, opinions are like assholes. We all got them. 3, I don't roll in the mud with pigs. That's that on that. How did you and Lo meet? I hope I get your husband's name right. That is correct. So my husband's name is Murilo. He is from Brazil, and us Americans call him Lo for short because none of us say his name properly. I don't even say his name right, but you got his name correct. I met Murilo because his mom used to get her hair done at the old salon that I met. So a little backstory. I think I've shared this before with you guys. So 2023 was a very tumultuous for me. This very fall of 2023, going through a lot of transitions, coming out of a breakup, just beauty school, finishing up, trying to figure out what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm 34 and I still have those moments. What am I doing with my life? But anywho, and whenever I get confused, the first thing I do is I shut everything down. I shut people off, and I'm just like, me and you, God, because I can't hear. When I can't hear God, I get scared when I see, okay? And so because of that, I told myself, let me just pray, be quiet, be still. And I started having dreams, and the dreams freaked me out. One of my best friends, Shay, said, don't be afraid of dreams, because that's just God's way of speaking to you, trying to tell you something. It's God's never going to tell you something that's going to leave you feeling like stressed or alert, or it's gonna leave you peace. You know, it might be shocking or daunting, but it's never going to be anything that rattles your soul or scares you or anything like that. So she said, the next time you have a dream, if it wakes you up in the middle of the night, write it down. So I said, okay, cool. It was freaking me out because a lot of the dreams that I was having were coming to pass. I ain't a prophet, okay? But it was just very eerie to me. And so I had one dream one night. I'll never forget the dream. I could tell I was at like a Dave & Buster's or some kind of like game place like that. And I had the biggest smile plastered on my face. I was happy. I was laughing. And I could see the silhouette of a man that I was with. I could see he wasn't a skinny man, but he wasn't like cock diesel jacked like a bodybuilder, but he was solid. He was sufficient. And I was like, okay, he's sturdy. I can get with it. And the one ironic thing was, I could only see his skin tone. And so looking at his skin tone, I could see it was like a tan skin tone. The only thing that I could tell was he wasn't a black man and he wasn't a white man. So I took that as, okay, that's just God telling me everything's going to be fine. I will smile again. I will laugh again. It's going to be okay. So that was October 2013. Fast forward to February 2014 at the salon, sweeping up hair. Marcia, my now mother-in-law, comes up to me. She goes, first she says, are you single? Now, first of all, I was raised. All right. I was raised in the South. I got manners. In my mind, I'm thinking, why the hell are you all up in my business, lady? I don't know you. That's a personal question. What you want? And I just kind of looked at her and I was very hesitant. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she could tell that I was like not feeling the vibe of what she was asking me or why she was asking me. And she says, I just have a son and he's so handsome and he's so perfect and I just think he'll be great for you. And I'm thinking, first of all, lady, you don't know me from the man in the moon. I could be crazy. Secondly, if a man got his mama out here picking up women for him, God bless his soul. He's probably a wreck. So I'm like kind of, oh yeah, you don't say? All right, cool. And so she goes, yes, he's just so kind and so handsome, but he has tattoos. Well, now my ears perked because I like a little tattoo or 12, you know? I like edge. I've never been like the whole pretty boy thing, although Murillo can be very pretty, but because he's got that edge to him, like I need for you to like, you can pick somebody up a little bit, okay? That's my vibe. And so she said, well, let me just show you a picture. And I'm like, okay, lady, whatever. She whips out her phone, shows me a picture, boom, instantly. That's the boy from my dream. When I tell you I was flabbergasted because I had not thought twice about that dream until then. I had the dream, wrote it down, walked away, didn't think anything about it. The only reason why I went on a date with Murillo was because God already gave me the okay. That was it. So that's how I met my husband. Do you use a waist trainer? If so, how and when, in your opinion on them? I don't use a waist trainer. I've never used one. I don't really have any opinions on them. I mean, yes, they work. Like, here's a way to look at it. Okay, so a waist trainer, right? So my hand is the waist trainer. So you see how my hand is around it and it's squeezing everything nice and tight, right? Makes you feel nice and cozy. And you know, you wear it, you're training your waist to be this size. So of course, if you're wearing it, it's going to continue to squeeze and compress you. But when you stop wearing it, what happens? It's going to expand. So it's used for like a momentarily thing. Do I think that a waist trainer can truly train your waist to stay that size? No, but if you wear it long enough to the point that it does, then that means you've now gone over the edge and that's not good. So if you want to wear a waist trainer, wear it, but it's not anything that I think anyone should do long term. What's your favorite vacation spot? I unfortunately don't have one. I honestly have, Murillo and I have never had like a real true vacation. I am hoping that at the end of the year, we can do that. We can make that happen. However, right now, don't have one, but I plan to be sharing that with you very soon. What is your favorite cheat meal? Ooh, bacon cheeseburger with cheddar cheese, avocado, sweet potato fries, diet ginger ale, and whiskey. So good. So good. I might get that this weekend. Not so much of a comment as it is a request. Can you do what I eat in a day video? Would love to see. Also, you look magnificent. Yes. I did a what I eat in a day and what I eat to get shredded. So that was specifically for peak week. However, I am in my reverse diet now. I'm in off season. So therefore I can do it. Well, I'm vlogging my reverse. So you'll be able to see the what I eat in a day. Marilla's home from work. Okay, next question. Are you planning on coaching? I do not want to compete, but want to transform my body. Yes, I have already spoken to you. I am coaching. I do have a few spots available for nutrition coaching, not contest prep. That is not anything that I want to get into right now. Maybe that's something I'll do later on when I retire from my own competing journey. But yes, if you are in lifestyle transformation, you're on a weight loss journey, a health journey, a muscle gaining journey, whatever the case may be, absolutely the one-on-one coaching link will be down below. I'm 68 and noticing one glute seems to be dropping or shrinking. Is it possible to build up one side of the body? Yes, it is possible. So you're going to do unilateral training. So basically what it means is instead of doing exercises where you're engaging both glutes, so let's say like your traditional hip thrust. So do your traditional hip thrust, but then you can do the B stance where one foot is in front. So that way you're working more of one side or the other. I have to actually utilize unilateral training a lot just due to my arthritis on the left side of my neck. So I just have a hard time engaging the left side of my body in general. So when I was training back, I miss back there. It's fine. Part of competing. When I was training back, I would have a hard time engaging my left lat if I wasn't aligned properly. So I have arthritis in the left side of my neck, and then I also have scoliosis. I have two curves in my spine. So I've been training around that stuff for a year and a half now. It can be done. I don't ever utilize it as an excuse. And so what I would have to do is for my left lat, instead of doing, both lat pull downs, I would have to just focus on the one, so that way I could get the engagement. Now, because this is more of like a arthritis neurological situation, sometimes I wouldn't be able to get the engagement in it. So in my mind, I'm like, go heavier. And then the next day I'd be wrecked. So just be mindful, but yes, just train one side at a time, so that way you can really focus on bringing that area up, and then whatever side is lagging, do more reps. What's your most used eyeshadow palette? Definitely my Natasha Denona mini bronze palette. I am a warm tone girly, so anything that's warm tone, that's always my go-to. If I still haven't gotten my period back in the off season, does that mean I haven't gained as much weight back as I should have? Hey Zoe, so I actually messaged Zoe. So this is my second time filming this video, because the first time the content, it was just whack. So yes, I already spoke to her. So basically she was competing and she got her blood work done. Doctor says she was okay, but she still has not got a period back. Her and I already talked it out, hashed it out. So she's going to finish up her season, and then her mission for next season is her improvement season is to get her period back. The thing is, you'll hear a lot of people say, oh, you only want to stay about 8 to 10 pounds above stage weight, because if not, prep's going to be hard. Prep's fucking hard either way. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you got to lose 8 pounds, 18 pounds, because the thing is, if you are closer to stage weight, congratulations. But guess what? Prep's still going to be hard. It might just be hard mentally. That's still difficult, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't care if you're 8 to 10 pounds above stage weight. If you're 8 to 10 pounds above stage weight and it's been like 3 to 4 months and you still don't have a period, 9 times out of 10, you're probably still in a caloric deficit, I'm gonna guess. And guess what? You need to put more body fat on until you get your period, because now you technically don't really have any business. And this is just my opinion. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a coach. This is just from me being a bodybuilder for 4 years. In my opinion, you don't really have any business prepping again until you get your period. And I know for a fact, because we've already spoken, she's someone that does have a regular period. Now, if she was someone that already had irregular periods, then hey, whatever, it is what it is. But she's someone that does have regular periods and she hasn't gotten it back. That's a red flag. And also, apologizing if the audio is not crystal clear, I'm on my iPhone. What pointers do you have for middle-aged women who would like to begin bodybuilding? The same pointers I have for everything. Whenever people ask me, how do I become a makeup artist? How do I start a podcast? How do I become a YouTuber? Start. Get out of your mind. Turn it off. Start. When you first start off, you can do all the research all you want. You don't know what you're doing. You're never going to know what you're doing. The goal is you got to figure out your own flow and what works best for you. So yes, understanding the fundamentals, the foundation. So like a bicep curl is a bicep curl. I get this question a lot, especially from the lifestyle girlies. Well, I want to train, but I don't want to be a bodybuilder. Like, I don't want to lift like you. Here's the thing. A bicep curl for a lifestyle person, a bicep curl for a bodybuilder, a bicep curl for my husband are all the same. You know what the difference is? The load, how heavy or how light it is. At the end of the day, it's still the same motion. There is nothing any differently about it just because I'm a bodybuilder. No, like a bicep curl is a bicep curl. A squat is a squat. A RDL is a RDL. Huh? Well, yeah, it's the intensity. Well, it just depends on if they're in season, off season, how lean they are. And so a lot of people aren't going to like this either, but I hear a lot of women, especially when I work in the salon, well, I don't know. I put on weight. My fat's stubborn. You're not special. Man or woman, all body fat is stubborn. I don't care if you're 150, 180, 280. Body fat is hard to get off, especially for us women, because we are designed to have more body fat because we are designed to carry babies. So therefore, All body fat's stubborn. Nobody is special in that regard. And then for my more mature women, a lot of the times women like to say, oh, my metabolism, or I can't do this, I can't do that. Here's the thing. Yeah, metabolism, it does change, but it doesn't change as much as you think. Do you know what the difference between you in your 40s and 50s versus you in your 30s and 20s? You slowed down. You're more sedentary. That's the issue. I guarantee for most women, I understand there are some hormonal things. There are different factors that can come into play. So I understand there is always an exception to the rule, but this is just me speaking. Hormones are in check. Everything is in balance. You're good to go. Start. Get yourself a coach. Get a good coach. And with finding a good coach, you got to find somebody that works best with you, because just because someone is a top bodybuilding coach or a top bikini coach, that don't mean shit if y'all don't vibe. You got to be on the same page. So that's what I would do. Go ahead, get into the gym, start training, and do your due diligence too, because with finding a coach is very necessary, especially when you're first starting off. Because, well, a coach is necessary, period, because you need eyes on you. But a lot of people don't want to do the work themselves. A lot of people like the idea of having a coach and think that a coach is supposed to be this miraculous thing. A coach is just eyes on you and guiding you. It's up to you to do your due diligence. Like for me, now, I'm not old. Age ain't nothing but a number. However, I am wise enough to understand that 34 ain't 24. I have things that I have to work around. So I'm at a phase in my life now where, yes, I'm still training hard, but I'm training smarter, not harder. You will never catch me with a shit ton of plates throwing up hip thrusts. First of all, it hurts. And when I say it hurts, it's not that it hurts as in, oh my God, this is like the lactic acid, or because it's intensity, it hurts like, what the F is going on? Did I break something? Hurt? And if you're ever training and you feel that, stop. Full stop. If something doesn't feel right, like, you know the difference between training with intensity versus something's about to snap. Those are not the same. And if you ever have that, I feel like something about the snap moment, you have got to stop. But I train smarter, not harder, because I have small injuries and things that I'm working around. So this is going to be the same thing as well. With being a middle-aged woman, you have to be mindful of that. You can still train, you can still compete. I absolutely love Masters Nationals. That is one of my favorite shows to work because it's so inspiring to see women and men that are 40 up. I think 35 at Masters is a freaking joke, because when you look at all the bodybuilders that are at their peak, they're in their mid-30s. So why do we have 35 as masters? I don't understand that, but I personally feel masters should be 40 and up. But when I see women in their 40s, and baby, when I see women in their 50s and they are on stage and they are killing it and they are sliced and diced and look amazing, it can be done. My advice to you, start. Being that you got your pro card, do you and Lo still want to start a family? Oh yeah, that's happening. Absolutely. I touched base on it in the video where I said, what video was it? What I eat to get shredded, because I was supposed to be competing again, but I shut it down. I'm about 80% sure that next season is going to be my last season, and not because I don't want to compete anymore. I'm at peace with it. It's something that I've kind of known for about 6 to 8 months. And again, 80%, but there's other things that I want to do. And yes, you can focus on business and be a bodybuilder and be in prep. You can have a child come back and compete and be successful. However, I understand that for the things that I have coming, I need to give it my undivided attention. So that's why for my off season, next season, I am giving that my everything. It's getting my undivided attention because I understand this could be my last season. So with that in mind, I'm going to give it my all. So that way, after that, I can move on to being a mom. I can move on to focusing on my business and growing and getting y'all ready for stage or coaching you, whatever the case may be. If you had to choose 3 skincare makeup products for the rest of your life, what would they be? Oh my God. All right, skincare. Gotta do eye cream. Got to. Can't go without eye cream. Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Serum. She pricey, but baby, miracle in a bottle. And Believe Aqua Bomb Moisturizer. Those 3. Gotta have them. Need them. Makeup, Weekend Brow by Milani, because y'all know I need my brows. Concealer. And bronzer. What exercises do you recommend for toning flabby inner thighs and triceps? So here's the thing. We can't spot reduce. We can't choose where we lose body fat. When you get on your weight loss journey, you are automatically going to lose weight in the areas first that have the least amount of body fat. That's just the way it is. Those areas are going to lean out the fastest. So for me, I am someone, I don't carry much body fat on my upper. I've been that way my entire life. That's just my genetics. Both of my parents are basketball players, so they have that basketball physique, tall, lanky, stringy. So that's why I don't carry a lot of body fat on my upper body. Lower body is a different story. That's where I hold my body fat. I hold my body fat in my glutes and in my thighs. And so when leaning out, when I'm getting ready for competition, the upper body always comes in first and comes in fast. Lower body takes time. Lower body, sometimes I've had moments where the lower body didn't clock in until the 11th hour and they still want to know. So you have to understand that there's no such thing as instant gratification when you're on a weight loss journey. Slow and steady wins the race, and you cannot spot reduce. So I understand for a lot of women that can be very daunting and very frustrating, and it makes you want to give up. But when you give up, you'll never hit your goal. You can maintain consistency. So focus on shifting your mindset to consistency and not, oh my God, I have this flabby area, because if you keep focusing on that, that's all you're going to be consumed with. But what you can control is you being consistent, and understand that when you're consistent, that makes you one step closer to the goal. So ladies, you cannot spot reduce. I'm sorry. I know, not a sexy answer. How did you start your bodybuilding journey, coaching and program planning? What were some obstacles you facing? So I started in salon, and it's so interesting because now that I'm outside of the salon, had I had never worked in the salon, I would have never came across bodybuilding. Before I even got into the beauty industry, I was a gymnastics coach for 7 years. So I know how to coach. I have coaching capabilities. I'm a good coach. I understand the mindset aspect. I understand the psychology of people. I'm a psychology geek. Absolutely love it. When I was in college to be a teacher, I accidentally minored in psychology. That's how much I love it. So for me, when I was making the transition from coaching to being a hairstylist, I still had 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door. When I was the assistant, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not making anywhere close to the money that I was making, because for me being so young and the amount of money I was making, now I'm looking at it like, dang girl, you blew it big time. But you don't know what you don't know. And so I was about to just say, screw this hair thing, and I was going to go ahead and get my personal training certification. But the owners was like, no, just stick with it. You don't want to do that yet. You just got here, just stick with it. So I stuck with it. And then fast forward to 2015, I believe, 2016, a client walked in. She needed someone to do her extensions. Beautiful, tall, blonde bombshell. There weren't a lot of extension... There weren't many girls in the salon that did extensions. It was just myself and another girl. She wasn't there. So I ended up getting her. And she said to me, hey, I need extensions. I had this competition coming up. I need my hair long. I said, okay, cool. So get the hair for her, start doing the extensions. And so I'm just kind of asking her, like, what kind of competition are you doing? And she said, bodybuilding. I didn't know a thing about bodybuilding. And so she's coming in for her maintenance, because now I'm doing her root touch up and I'm doing her extension maintenance. And so she shows me a picture. And for the first time ever, I was stunned, because that was the first time I had ever seen women with physiques that looked similar to mine. So I've always carried more muscle than the average person around me. When I was in a child, from 8th grade all the way to 12th grade, I did competitive cheer, and that bulked me up big time on the upper body. And I realized very quickly that I am different. I don't look like everybody else. What's happening? There was only one girl, Aries. I still love Aries to this day. And she had, I noticed she had muscle too, but I always stuck out because I was tall, and I hated that. I was tall and lanky. And now I went from being tall and lanky to tall and jacked. And so I went from being asked, are you anorexic, to what steroids are you taking? And it was a mind fuck, you know what I mean? Because I'm a teenage girl. People are looking at me. I was sticking out. I got tired of people always talking about my muscle, to the point that when I graduated all the way up until 24 years old, I hid my body. In salon, oh my God, I hated it. My arms were a freaking spectacle. I would have women coming up to me all the time, touching me, asking me questions. And I was like, I look like a freak. Why does everybody keep touching me? Why does people keep making comments about it? And then as I got older, as I educated myself, I realized, oh, this isn't a bad thing. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, because I had never seen that many women that ever resembled my physique before. So of course, when I got home, I started Googling bodybuilding, and of course, I did not find a bikini. I didn't realize that there were different divisions, and finally I came across a bikini, and it's just like Wikipedia. If you Google you have a headache, they're gonna tell you you got a brain tumor and you dying in 5 minutes. That's what happened. I Googled bikini bodybuilding. Bodybuilding ruined my life. And then I realized that these girls were on stage in thongs, and I'm a modest girl. I absolutely cannot do that. So I just shut that down 100%. Didn't think anything of it. So that was 2015, end of 2015, maybe beginning, end of somewhere 2015, 2016. I can't get that time properly. Then transitioning to what I know is mid 2016, that's when I got a women's physique pro, Lauren. I will always have so much love and respect for Lauren, because she is how I got my start in bodybuilding. So I didn't know anything about the Arnold, okay? So she just started coming to me for her color, started doing her color, and then she was prepping for the Arnold, and she needed extensions. So I was just kind of like, okay, cool. I started following her on Instagram and became obsessed, because growing up as a child, I could care less about princesses, but superheroes, I love Marvel. I'm a Marvel head. I love the idea of good defeating evil, helping people. It's just amazing to me. She looked like a real life superhero, and I thought she was just the coolest thing ever. So now fast forward to end of 2017, I get engaged. So now 2018 spring is when I start on my own like health journey, because I was having so many gut issues. And so I was on a mission to heal my gut. And I did it. I'm proud of myself. And so I started playing around with lifting weights. I was always afraid to lift weights because I already had muscle on me. Of course, I was way smaller, okay? But to the average person, like, you could look at me and you could see I had biceps. I've always had biceps. And so that's when I found Paige Hathaway. That's when I found Massey. And I saw these girls and I was like, these girls look incredible. Not realizing that you very well too can look like that. So I started, like, I was already going to the gym. I was a runner, but whenever I would go to the gym, I would only do circuit training and body weight. So I started slowly lifting weights spring of 2017. And then once I started doing it, I was like, this feels amazing. I love it. This is awesome. I'm going to be looking good in my wedding dress. And then I thought, you know what? I wonder if I could compete one day. Now, I knew since I was planning a wedding that competing was not, that it was not the time. I need to get through that. So got married 2018 New Year's Eve. Spring 2019, I said to Murillo, I'm doing a bodybuilding competition. I ain't know shit about bodybuilding. I didn't know anything about it. What did I do? YouTube. Go to YouTube. The first people I find, Ashley Kaltwalter, Kerrigan Pike. I still follow both of them to this day because I was already on YouTube. So I was like, let me go see if there's bodybuilder vloggers. And of course there were. So then I hit up Lauren. I said, hey, Lauren, I think I want to compete. I have no idea what I'm doing. Can you kind of point me in the right direction? She said, oh, absolutely. I will coach you. So that is how I got into bodybuilding. Let's see. Coaching and programming planning. So my coach does that. So she does my coaching and then my programming for my macros and my training. With training, she gives me a training split. But what I do is I basically, like, I know my body. I know what exercises to work for me. I'm old school when it comes to the gym. Like, I am not the girl that's like, oh yeah, save this for later, swipe. I don't do that because that can be very misleading to new athletes, because a lot of the pros that do that are top pros and you see them doing wild stuff. It's because they've already maxed out their physique and they're just having fun in the gym, but they're not telling you that. Compound movements. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Get in there, get busy. Intensity, tempo. It's not hard. What are some obstacles you facing? Probably the hardest obstacle I faced was at the beginning of this prep when I knew something was wrong with me. I just didn't know what. And then once I got my blood work done, when I found out that my testosterone was so low and I had no cortisol, it just made me realize it doesn't matter how someone looks on the outside. A lot of people, first of all, bodybuilding is not health and fitness. Bodybuilding is bodybuilding, first of all, because when you get close to show, ain't nothing healthy about it, period. And then also on top of that, I knew that if I didn't get whatever it was situated, I was not going to be able to prep because I literally felt like I was going to die. So once we got that in order, we figured it out. I said all that to say, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because someone looks healthy on the outside, it does not mean that they're good on the inside. Go get your blood work done. Get a full plan of blood work, because that's the thing too. A lot of people always ask, what vitamins and what supplements should I take? You truly don't know what you should be taking until you get your blood work, because your blood work is going to show you what you're deficient in. So no question, but thank you for sharing your hair routine. I tried it and I'm finally able to have a wash and go that isn't frizzy. Yes, yes, yes. I like it. Keep it simple, man. Like a lot of the curly head girls out there with the wash and goes, you putting everything in the kitchen sink on their hair, and it's just like, you don't need that. I use 2 products on my hair. I use a mousse and some gel. That's it, and that's all. And I feel like the curls is popping. I actually just got a trim, and we Gucci. Let's see, last question. Hey, super excited for this. As a Christian bodybuilder myself, I love your content. Thank you. What are some coping mechanisms you use? What age did you meet your husband now? Did you visualize or manifest things in your life that you're still waiting for? So what are some coping mechanisms that you use? Journaling. Journaling has been, sorry, my dogs can't figure out if they want to be in or outside. Journaling has been the best coping mechanism I could have ever started doing. And it's so interesting because as a child, extremely creative. So I would paint and I would creative write. And it's so interesting now because one of my dreams, like I wish I could have a blog, but I'm such a horrible writer. I feel like I'm low-key dyslexic because I am the typo queen. I'm always moving too fast. I'm not paying attention, and I'm just simply not the best speller in the world. I am good audio on camera, but ask me to type something out or write something out, I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's interesting because it's a skill I used to have. I used to love creative writing. I would make up stories, and then when I moved from Virginia to North Carolina, that was very rough for me. I just stopped, and I so desperately, and I mean, I'm sure it just takes practice. I'm sure if I practice it, I could probably, I don't know that I could get it back, but I could restart again. That might be something that I do, but journaling is fantastic because journaling, there's no right or wrong. And I guess with writing, with a blog, there's no right or wrong because it's your voice. I'm probably just in my head. Anywho, so journaling, brain dumping, just getting something off my chest and then not looking at it again. Or I have gone back and looked at some of my journal entries when I was having a deep, bad moment in prep. I just tell myself now, like, if I knew any of my friends were talking about themselves in the way that I was speaking to myself, I would have ripped their behinds wide open. So, perspective for you. What are some coping mechanisms? Oh yeah, I already answered that. What age did you meet your husband now? I met my husband at 25 and then we got married when we were 30. Well, I was 30. I'm 8 months older than my husband. He calls me his old lady. I'm like, fool, I'm only 8 months older than you. I ain't even a full year older than you. Get out of here. Do you visualize or manifest things in your life that you're still waiting for? Absolutely, girl. I'm waiting on a lot of things. And the waiting period is very difficult. You know, you have to be steadfast and you got to wait. But when you wait, you got to wait with a smile on your face. And when you're waiting, you got to continue to work. And that's the hard part when you've been putting in the effort, you've been putting in the grind, you've been working at something for so hard and you see other people succeeding and being prosperous. And you're just kind of like, God, like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I don't understand. Are you punishing me? Now I'm speaking my own personal feelings and thoughts that I've had. And with that, you just have to understand your story is your story. Your timeline is your timeline. There are some people that become millionaires at 19, and then you have some people like Oprah. Oprah didn't make it big until what? Was she in her 40s? You know what I mean? So mind your business. That's something that I have to remind myself. And there's visualizing and manifesting and praying. All of those things are fantastic because the thing is, if you can visualize it, that means God put it on your heart. And if God put it on your heart, that means that it is something that you can and in fact do, but timing is everything. It's going to be in His time, not yours. That was it. That was all the questions. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for hanging out with me during the Q&A. I love y'all. Keep it simple and cast one more net.